Hey everyone, this is Chris Crazy House, and today we're going to be doing a review for Changa's. Hey everyone, this is Chris Crazy House, and today I'm going to be doing a review for the first issue of Changa and the Jade Obelisk. This is a comic book put out by MILTON Davis, and it is written by Robert Jeffrey, and the artwork is done by Matteo Illuminati, and the colors are done by Loris Ravina. So, as far as this project goes, I remember seeing it on Kickstarter not too long ago, and I was one of the people that kicked in some money to get it produced. I'm a big fan of the author, MILTON Davis. He's been a big inspiration for me ever since I first met him way back in, was it 2009, I believe it was. I saw him at the very first OnyxCon convention. I met him and his wife, and they were selling just two of his books at the time. He's very, he started out with just those two books and has become extremely prolific ever since then. But I remember him from back then, and I was just amazed by his storytelling craft. He's very, very talented author. So he published a book, or I should say a book series called Changa's Safari, and there's 3 volumes actually. And if you are into classic sword and sorcery and also high adventure like pirate fiction, then I would highly recommend those novels to you. Go ahead and check out Changa's Safari, and don't be thrown off by the title and the use of the word safari. It's been that word has been kind of mutated into something that just means going out and seeing some animals, but the actual origins of the word is the way that MILTON is using the word, and that is to have a overland journey or an adventure, and to travel for a long distance and have an amazing adventure. So he's using it in the classic definition of what the word safari is supposed to mean. And it focuses on the main character of Captain Changa and his very interesting crew, and you get to go on their adventures with them. I don't want to spoil too much because I want you guys to go out there and actually buy the books, and I will provide the links in the description box and also in the comments section. So this very first issue of the Changa comic book is based off of the very first volume of Changa Safari. So it focuses on the story of Changa and the Jade Obelisk. So as a fan of the books, I was eager to see how this would be interpreted visually, because obviously when you read a book, you have your own ideas about what characters look like, or about what the setting looks like, or about maybe some of the weapons and the vehicles or the monsters that you might see in the book. So I was very interested to see how I would like the comic book, because sometimes I don't like seeing other people's visualizations, being an artist and also just a person with a very high imagination. Sometimes when I see something visually, it doesn't live up to my expectations. But I will say that this comic book, very much so lives up to my expectations. It has some things that I might visualize, but also some things that I hadn't thought of. And I really appreciate the art that is done in this book by Matteo Illuminati. He does an amazing job of capturing the adventure and capturing the essence of the fast-paced action in this story, because that's one thing about Changa Safari is it's a quick read because the action is so fast-paced, and you get involved, you get just drop right in the middle of the story. You go on a very amazing adventure. You go to a lot of different places, but it's very easy to follow, and you have a great time reading it. It's definitely a page turner. And this comic book looks like it can be the same way. Now, the great thing about a comic book, though, is you can actually sit there and concentrate and look at the artwork. So it's not like you're just reading words and trying to find out what goes on next. I actually took my time and looked through every page and enjoyed the amazing artwork here. The character designs are great. The designs of all the ships are great. I'm looking forward to seeing some of the monsters and the witches' powers that hasn't been shown in this book in particular. You kind of see them on the cover, but I'm looking forward to seeing that portrayed in subsequent issues of Changa and the Jade Obelisk. So I don't want to spoil the actual story too much, but like I said, it's just the beginning story where Changa is just he's kind of deciding what he wants to do as far as where he's going to go sell some of his goods, and they need to kind of take a break to get some supplies on a beach, and they happen to find this Amir who is running for his life, and he's kind of stolen this object. So it's almost very reminiscent of, if anyone remembers though, that classic adventure pirate movie Sinbad, The Seventh Voyage of Sinbad. It's almost very reminiscent. They almost kind of start exactly the same way, but they go off into very different directions, obviously. I don't want to make it sound like Milton's copying, but I can see he might be a Ray Harryhausen fan like myself, just in the way the beginning of this story is constructed. And I'm very much looking forward to seeing where this comic series goes. I wonder if they're going to actually change anything, or they're going to keep everything exactly the same as the actual novel. So that can be a surprise as well. And shout out to a friend of mine, Robert Jeffrey, for adapting Milton's novel into this comic book form. Robert Jeffrey II is an amazing author and writer in his own right. He has a lot of comic book properties out there himself. Very talented brother, and someone I'm glad to say is a friend of mine. He's the one that did the adaptation for this comic book. So shout out to everybody involved with this. I'm looking forward to more. You guys did an amazing job. I really enjoyed the character designs. Like when I saw the initial designs for the main character Changa, it wasn't something I was expecting. Like I kind of have my own visualization of the way the character looked in my head. So seeing this version of it, I was like, wow, that actually looks pretty cool. That's cooler than even what I thought the character would look like. So you guys did an amazing job. I think the artists, what they did is they have a good combination of modern, the way a lot of black people of today, have their hairstyles and the way they wear their facial hair, and it's a good combination of that, but also a lot of those great fantasy elements that are familiar to us, and people who are fans of sword and soul or sword and sorcery or fantasy artwork. It comes out really well in this. So please go ahead and go to the links that I will provide for you. Go pick up a copy of this book if it's you that loves fantasy concepts like this. Go ahead and pick it up. If you want some fantasy from an African perspective, go pick it up. Or if you have some young people and you want to show them that there are characters out there that look like them, that can have these fantastical adventures and can have these amazing story arcs, go ahead and get them a copy of it as well. They will appreciate it very much. So I will provide the links. You folks can go pick it up on Milton's website, and I probably will be doing an artist showcase on Milton Davis. The only reason I haven't done so far is because, like I said, his body of work is so prolific. It's hard to kind of get it all that I want to put in there, and he does so much outside of just publishing for himself. He's helped a lot of other people publish work and has put some other authors out there for the public's consumption and running conventions and everything else. He's done so much creating role-playing games and conventions and everything else that it's hard for me to just nail him down to just an author. I might have to do a two-parter for his artist showcase. Who knows? We'll see. But once again, go out there and check out Changa and the Jade Obelisk. You guys will very much appreciate it. I'm a fan, and I know you guys will be a fan too. Anyway, this is Chris Crazy House signing out. Peace.